Dear friends, we would like to present to you Bratislava, the capital of Slovak Republic, through the eyes of ambassadors of foreign countries who serve in Bratislava. Madam Ambassador, it's my great pleasure that you accepted to have a chat about Bratislava in downtown in this lovely spring day.
Thank you very much for inviting me. Indeed, it's a pleasure to stand here and enjoy the first rays of the spring sun.
We are over 1 year with this pandemic time. You as ambassador with your team having office over there. It was quite unusual, remarkable year for working in this lockdown and rather complicated with restriction year. How have you and your embassy team survived, and what you will forever keep in mind what we went through?
So I arrived by end of July last year in summertime, and at that time we were at the end of the first wave, and during summer month the situation was a little bit more relaxed, so there was more openness. But then with the autumn coming up to the winter time, it really got more tense, and we also changed the way we worked in the embassy. So now we are working in 2 shifts, so we split into 2 teams. So one team is 1 week in the embassy, and then the next week is home office. Mm-hmm. So this is a very concrete example of how we had to adapt on our ways of working. And what is a pity for me, especially if you're a newcomer, you don't have the possibility to meet as many people as you would like to meet, and not being able to go around where you would like to go. So I know many people mainly with face masks, or I'm already happy to see them on computer without face masks. Mm-hmm.
Now moving to town, because we would like to learn from diplomats how they view the city. You know Bratislava quite well since you were coming as diplomat before, as EU diplomat. How Bratislava in early 90s, how do you find Bratislava in last, let's say, 30 years of change? What is different, and which are the places in Bratislava which you particularly like?
I think the old city stayed very much the same, so I could recognize, but there are quarters which did not exist at the time. These new built business areas which were not there at the time. So I think for me, coming from a very different posting from Iraq, where it's not possible to move around freely, I very much enjoy the coziness of the city, the ability to walk around physically also. It's close by, and then also on the weekends you can enjoy the surroundings of the city. Mm-hmm.
And if you would be asked, if some foreign visitor would come and you do not have much time, but let's say 1 hour, and you would like to show in Bratislava 2-3 spots which you would like for German visitor to keep in mind as something memorable, where would you take your guest?
I think I would start at the model of the old town, which is near the river, where you can have a good idea on the castle and the old city walls. And then definitely I'd go up to the castle, go down to the dome, and then go into some of the smaller roads behind the domes, which are more quiet but very well convey an atmosphere about the city. Mm-hmm.
During pandemic times, even we from Bratislava, particularly in the last couple of months, we can't travel to other districts but only in Bratislava region. We are discovering that Bratislava has quite interesting nature around. Are there some places in Bratislava, around Bratislava, which you would recommend for tourists to go and relax? In semi-wilderness, something more than park, because small Carpathian mountains are just part of city life.
So there are some areas which are close by, the Kamsik, for example, the Horski Park, which is very easy to go also. But there are some places also not so far where you can go to Danubiana, for example, or to the Devin Castle.
Germany as a lead country in European Union is stressing so much solidarity within European Union. Also, this vaccination is becoming one of the big issues for whole European Union. How do you see this pan-European cooperation and solidarity in combating COVID-19?
When the pandemic started, I think it was a huge shock to everyone. So what you could see in this shock that countries acted nationally by closing borders. And the longer it took, I think the more we recognized that closing borders is not all you can do. Sometimes you have to do it, but you have to find a common approach. So Germany had the presidency of the European Union, and I think what we did is to find a more coordinated approach, coordinated criteria on how to measure the infections, coordinated criteria to assess various country situations, and then also a common approach to vaccination, which is difficult, but I think shows, as you said, solidarity and the togetherness in the European Union.
Are you hopeful that this COVID passport or green passport would open up more travel between European countries?
I think I am hopeful, but what's important is I think that vaccinations really have reached a certain level so that it's really an instrument which can be used by more people. But I think precautionary measures like testing and like vaccinations, they will be part of our daily life over the next years to come as well.
We are recording this interview just before Easter holidays. Will you stay in Bratislava or you have plans to go to Berlin?
It's very complicated also to go to Berlin. So I will be staying in Bratislava, hoping for a couple of nice days. And as many others, I developed hobbies during the pandemic, which is gardening or baking your own bread. So I will be busying myself.
And let's hope that we will see each other as soon as possible without mask and sipping a cup of coffee here in front of Carlton Hotel.
Yes, thank you very much. Also to you, all the best, and to the team as well.
Thank you.
Thank you.